Good day and welcome to another installment of Saints Sports. My name is Dominic Papa, and another good week of Saints athletics. St. Clair continues to find ways to win games and playing some really good sports. We're going to focus on volleyball and basketball these days, and today, more specifically, we'll talk basketball. We'll save the volleyball guys for next week, and we'll check in with them, but we're going to talk basketball with both head coaches of the St. Clair Saints men's and women's team. We'll start first with the head coach of the women's team, the veteran coach. Coach Andy Kiss joins us on the show. Good day to you, Coach K, and thanks for doing this with us. And I was impressed. Game one, obviously a lot of adjustments were made. It's the whole process, but you come back in game two last weekend, and I thought the girls played pretty well, Coach. What did you think overall?
Oh, the effort was fantastic. Overall, too, from opening tap all the way to the end. We talked about coming out stronger. It's been one of our issues is we haven't gotten off to good starts. Not that we have a lot of games under our belt, but so it's something we focused on, and the kids came out of the hop real strong on Saturday, and very impressive performance. As I said, great effort all night long.
Mm-hmm. We've talked, and I know you've made it clear that this is going to be a work in progress throughout the season. And it's great that we have the season, the amount of games back to a full regular season. Of course, last year was a shortened season. Having that time and going week to week with the girls, are you looking for steps or signs each week, Coach K, that you see improvement, or are you just focusing on one area and that's going to make this thing work for these girls?
Oh, no. I mean, it's actually a little bit of a juggling act. So, we need to have certain things in place as the season progresses, and we need to be working on things. One of the issues that arose during the Lambton game was our press attack and our organization attack and a press. So we made adjustments, and we handled the pressure a lot better against Niagara. Not that they pressed us all game, but there were instances in which they threw their diamond and one press at us, and we handled it very well. In fact, in that game, our turnovers were at 9, which is outstanding. Our metric always in a game is to be 15 or less. So when you have a game in which you have 9 turnovers, that's a real strong barometer that you're going to be successful that game. So back to your question. So there are certain things that we want to have in with regard to the juggling act. Certainly our next opponent is the most important opponent, but at the same time, we want to have other things in as well for our future opponents.
Getting Shaylin Murphy back into the fold. She had gone literally from softball into basketball. Didn't have much time with her. How much does she mean to the team this year?
Oh, Shay is she's our point guard. So, in basketball, it's a lot like, the analogy of quarterback in football, or for instance, your quarterback of the power play in hockey. It's a very important position in basketball, and she does a tremendous job of setting tempo in a game. She, I feel she understands the point guard role really well. She understands when to set things up and when to enter the fray herself to score the ball, and she's really developed her outside game. She's a dependable outside shooter now. She brings a very positive vibe and energy to the team as a person of leadership, and vitally important on our team. Shay as point guard. She came over from the phenomenally successful season for fast pitch, and was thrown into the fire immediately in the Lambton game. So, things have settled somewhat. She's more acclimated with the system. She played last year, so it's not like we really had to. It was a steep curve to get her up to speed. And you saw in the Niagara game, she played a much more settled. She seemed more comfortable in the game element, and she's hugely important to the team, like all the kids. But
yeah, she's an unbelievable athlete when you break it all down. Talk to me about the chemistry on the team right now with the squad, coach. That's always important. Is that developing the way you were hoping, and how important will it be for this team to go on to be successful?
Oh, it's vitally important. Yeah, the kids perform on the court, but what they do off the court socially and as a team is very important as well. They need to be a close-knit group. They need to have each other's backs. And from what I see, the chemistry is coming along very nicely. One of the things that's also emerging is roles on the team. And I think you saw that in the Niagara game.
Sure.
Alyssa Lucier certainly is an alpha on our team, and she really stepped up that game. She was tremendous, certainly player of the game. And I know in the OCAA she won an award this week for one of the stars of the week. For the OCAA athletics. So well-deserved. And, as far as other roles go, Grace Smirk is emerging. Grace has a different role than last year. She's being counted upon to contribute more offensively. Great teammate, Grace. She does a lot of things in our system that are not really things that pile up stats, but are very important nonetheless. Plays a physical game, usually guards the best post on the opponent. Has shown that she has in her arsenal the ability to knock down the three-point shot. Janae Smith settled down and had a nice second half against Niagara. Lauren Overeem, her nickname is Lou. Lauren is an outstanding offensive rebounder, despite the fact that she's not, a shade above a 5, 6, or 7, but she really crashes the boards hard, understands the timing of rebounding, and is fearless. So, she had 10 rebounds that game. She actually led us in rebounding. So, it's a team. Kids are embracing the roles. We've got Murphy, we've got Alyssa, Janae, Lauren, Grace Smirk, Naira Brown Henderson was outstanding coming off the bench. Really settled in and had a nice performance, contributing 12 points to the cause. Haley Pizzali held her own in her role. So, that's what you see now evolving with the team, right? People are embracing roles in their role identity within the greater team identity.
Mohawks up next, Coach, this weekend, Sunday afternoon tilt. Tell us a little bit about Mohawk and what's going to be key in securing a victory against them.
Mohawk is a good team. They have a strong guard play, and I've been watching them on film. They also have a post in Tia, I believe her name is Sties or Stis. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but she's a 6'1" post who transferred there from Niagara, and we do not have a big team, so we've got to defend the post. We actually work on it quite a bit in practice, but they've got Rachel Guanzon. She's a strong guard. It's a good team. They've got a dynamic offensive rebounder. I'm gonna have to look at the chart, number 24 on their team. Real nice player, lengthy and athletic, crashes the old boards well. It's a good team, and we've definitely got to break them down and be ready when the ball goes up on Sunday.
Well, team bounce back. Hopefully they'll continue, Coach. Appreciate your time here today. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday and watching more great Saints basketball there.
Thank you, Dom. Thank you always for your support, brother.
All right. That's head coach Andy Kiss of the women's basketball team at St. Clair College. Their counterparts, the men, they'll also be in action this weekend. Actually, they have a pair of games this weekend. They'll play on Saturday afternoon against Canada, the Panthers, and then they'll come back Sunday and play after the Lady Saints play Mohawk. Of course, Brendan Segan, the co-head coach, will be working hard both those days. He joins us on the show now. Thanks for joining us, Coach Segan. And first, let's talk about the 2-0 start. One thing that's become very evident of this Saints team, Coach Segan, is they can score points.
Yeah, we really can. It's something that we've been able to do for a couple of years now. We just have a lot of different weapons and a lot of guys who can help us on that side of the ball. It's nice to have and rely on in the regular season, but we know from experience down the stretch we're going to need the other end to tighten up a little bit. We're going to have to play some defense at some point to give ourselves a good chance to win.
And to your point about having different weapons, in game one, it was the new player on the squad, Shaq Price, doing the scoring. Then game two comes back with Josiah Deere, who lit it up pretty nice for the team. Is that something you should expect each game, maybe where somebody else steps up?
Yeah, I think so. We have, like I said, a lot of depth, and based on matchups and other teams, certain guys are going to have to step up. A lot of times, Shaq, like you said, he had a very good game against Lambton. He was solid again against Niagara, but teams will start to take him away from us. So other guys are going to have to step up and hit shots and be aggressive on offense. And Josiah did it, like you said, Saturday against Niagara. Wasn't always pretty, but he had a couple huge buckets, and I think he had 6 of his 24 points in the last 2 minutes when we were making our comeback. So these guys all know what they can do offensively, and they all have the confidence to play within our offense. And our offense is very free-flowing, and if guys are open, we want them to shoot the ball, and they do a good job of it. They're a very confident team.
Something happened in that game with Niagara, though, Coach, that I'm sure you and co-head coach Matt Sykes have talked about, looked at. You had a 16-point lead at halftime, and Niagara, which is a very good team and well coached, they came back and made a game of this. In fact, at one point in the second half, in the fourth quarter, early on, I think they had actually taken the lead. Protecting that lead and finishing off teams. How tough is that? And is that something that's still got to be learned by this club?
To an extent, I think it does have to be learned. Our team is again, they know that we're a very good team. We have a chance to win every night. But it's just about, and we talked about it in our film session last night, just playing a full 40 minutes and doing it consistently. We haven't been able to do it. Even against Lambton, we go through these peaks and valleys they're almost tough to explain. And even the Niagara game, we were very, very good in the first half, offensively and defensively. And even basically with 4 minutes left in the third quarter, we're still up by 20. And then fast forward about 6 minutes and we're down by 6. And it just, when the game sped up and Niagara started to push back, I don't think we were expecting it. And I think we may have expected that they were just going to fold over and that would be it. But it's something we got to learn, and no team in our league will do that. At this level of basketball, 15-point leads aren't overly safe. So our guys have to learn to just keep playing no matter the score, time. And once we get to that level where we're just consistent in what we do, we'll put ourselves in a good position to win.
One thing, another, situation, positive. I think it's a positive situation. There were a couple players out of the Saints lineup in the last game. I don't know if it was due to injuries or just numbers, things like that. Doesn't matter. My point here is that the Saints obviously have a lot of depth because you're still able to utilize a lot of your bench.
Yeah, it's something that we're proud of is our depth. Even the 3 true freshmen who've come in this year have done stuff all season that has been very positive and kind of turned a corner quicker than we thought they would. So adding those 3 to that returning core that we have has been, I guess, a luxury as a coach. Just knowing that no matter who we put in has some experience and can give something that we need. Like you said, we've been able to win without some guys in the lineup. It's been a little bit of a bumpy road, injuries. A few guys were sick for a little while. Even in practice, a couple of nights we're down to 7 or 8 players. So it's been a little bit difficult, but the guys have stayed positive and stayed together, and we've done the best we can with our situation. And like you said, having that depth in an 18-game regular season spanned over 4 months is very valuable. So guys who get put in the game have done their job all year so far, so definitely easier to coach that way.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you the same question I just asked Coach Kiss of the women's team, Coach Segan. the chemistry on this team. I would imagine the chemistry maybe the best that you've had in a little while, being that these guys know each other, even the new transfers and things like that.
Yeah, chemistry is very, very good on this team. Their camaraderie, honestly, it's very easy to coach them. They take care of their issues with each other. I don't have to be on them all the time. They know the expectation. Very good team off the court together as well. And like you said, just those playing in those moments last year with our core was very good. And even adding Shaq, although he played for the University of Windsor for the last 2 years, he played high school with 3 of the guys on our team. So they've played together before. So yeah, the camaraderie, the understanding they have with each other, very, very good. And again, easy to coach when they're all on the same page.
Canadore is in first, coach, on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, I should say. You can watch that game on We Digital. And then it's followed up by Mohawk. Now, I don't want to take away anything from the Canadore game, and I know you are not going to let the record indicate anything. You're going to approach this the same way as Mohawk, although Canadore is winless so far this year. Maybe not one of the stronger teams in the conference. I guess I'm not going to say it's a trap game, but something you have to be careful with, because Mohawk comes in the next day. Mohawk can score points like your team, Coach.
Yeah, it's actually, again, something we talked about in our film session last night. Trap game. They are better than the record. We've struggled with them both the past 2 years, down at halftime in one game, and then a 10-point win the second game. So they always play us tough. They're looking for their first win. They're hungry. So definitely need to focus on Saturday, and then try to prepare for Mohawk on Sunday at the same time. And that's part of the game in the OCAA. You got to be ready for 2 teams on one weekend. But like you said, Mohawk can really score the ball. I've watched most of their games, and when you average 105 points through 4 games, it's not a fluke. They're also very veteran, very well coached. So they'll be a tough game, but I expect a tough game Saturday as well. And kind of just building on what I said earlier, where we're just focused right now on playing a 40-minute game, no matter who the opponent is. And we think if we play 40 solid minutes, then we can win on any given night.
Should be a great weekend of basketball, Coach. We certainly look forward to it. Appreciate, again, your time here today. And we'll for sure talk down the road, but I'll look forward to seeing you at the Sportsplex on the weekend.
All right. Thanks, Dom.
All right, that's head coach Brandon Segan of the men's team. So a quick reminder before we let you go. The women basketball team, they will play on Sunday at 1 o'clock, and the men will follow at 3 o'clock. That's a game against Mohawk. There is a single game on Saturday against Canadore. It's the men. There you can see it. My producer, Evan, has the information up. Canadore will be a 2 o'clock tip at the Sportsplex. So if you want to really see some entertaining college basketball, head out to the Sportsplex. Of course, we will have the games on We Digital. And also, I want to remind you that the high school football championships, of course, the Wexa Senior Boys Final, the Tier 1 group, their championship game is going to take place Friday evening. Kickoff time is at 6:30 p.m. And certainly we're excited here at We Digital to be bringing you all the action live from Acumen Stadium, which will no doubt be a packed house because Herman and Bell River will battle for the title. That's it for this week on Saints Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. Come back again next week. We'll talk it up. Saints Athletics right here on We Digital Productions. Until then, this is Dominic Papa wishing you a great day. Take care, everybody.